press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello students, welcome to part 20 of the chapter Chemical Kinetics. So last concept of collision theory. According to Arrhenius theory, so concept of collision theory. So according to Arrhenius theory, rate of a chemical reaction. So rate of a chemical reaction is directly proportional to the number of effective collisions per second. So for a collision to be effective, the reactant molecules must possess sufficient kinetic energy. So molecules possess sufficient kinetic energy, and also the proper orientation of reactant molecules. So So for a collision to be effective, so when the temperature is increased, number of inactive molecules gain some extra energy so that their movement in the reaction vessel increases, means kinetic energy increases. So as a result of which, collisions per second per unit area also increases. So as the number of effective collisions per second increases, rate of reaction also increases. So that is why the one more point is there, collision frequency. So it is denoted by Z. So what is meant by the collision frequency? Number of collisions per second per unit area of the reaction mixture is called collision frequency. So as the collision frequency increases, rate also increases. So because according to Arrhenius theory, so Arrhenius equation is K is equal to A into e to the power of minus A by RT. Since we know that A, it is the Arrhenius constant or frequency factor, so which becomes equal to it becomes equal to P into Z into e power minus A by RT, which means that instead of the Arrhenius constant, we can write P into Z. So where P is called the steric factor. So look at this second point, proper orientation of the reactant molecules. So if the reactant molecules are not properly arranged, so that the reactant molecules bounce back. So that can be easily observed in case of a SN1 reaction. So tertiary butyl bromide, in the presence of polar solvents, it undergoes cyanation to form tertiary carbocation. That is a planar structure. Is it clear? But in case of tertiary butyl bromide, nucleophile cannot attach to the carbon atom which carries halogen. So from the side to that of halogen due to steric repulsion. Is it clear? So because of the presence of three bulky groups, and also there is a repulsion force in between the halogen atom and the nucleophile. So because the halogen which carries, each halogen atom has 3 lone pairs of electrons. So and also due to minus effect, the electron density is more on halogen. So in case of tertiary butyl bromide, CH3Br plus OH minus, this nucleophile cannot attach to this carbon atom from this side to that of halogen. So reason is this becomes electron rich. So due to minus effect, this is also electron rich. Electron density is more on halogen, so that this nucleophile cannot attach to this carbon atom from this side to that of halogen because of repulsion force. Is clear? Then in addition to this, this nucleophile cannot attach to this carbon atom from the side opposite to that of halogen due to the presence of three bulky groups. That is called a steric factor. The space is not sufficient. Space is not sufficient to attack this nucleophile to this carbon atom due to the presence of bulky groups. That is called a steric factor, steric repulsion. So a steric factor, this is P. Then Z represents collision frequency between these two reactants. Z represents a collision frequency. The product of steric factor and collision frequency, it is nothing but Arrhenius constant or frequency factor. Frequency factor. So that is why the rate, which also depends on, apart from the activation energy or the sufficient kinetic energy, apart from this, if the molecules are arranged in a proper orientation, then that leads to the formation of products. Leads to the formation of products. It's clear. So if you consider the methyl chloride and nucleophile, it's clear. So the attack of nucleophile to this carbon atom from this side, it is not possible. So that is why, so this nucleophile which attacks to this carbon atom from the side opposite to that of halogen. Suppose ಏನಾದರೂ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇವೆರಡು ಒಂದರ ಸೈಡ್ ಒಂದು ಇವೆರಡು ಏನಾದರೂ ಈ ಥರ ಅರೇಂಜ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ, this is an improper arrangement of reactant molecules. In such cases, there is no collision possibility. Even if collision occurs, no formation of products. Suppose the same molecules are arranged like this, CH3, so here OH minus. So this is the proper orientation of reactant molecules. That is why, so collision between these two reactant molecules, if the molecules are arranged like this, or the orientation of molecules looks like this, this leads to the formation of products. But if the molecules are arranged like this, no formation of products. This is an improper arrangement. This is the proper arrangement. Is clear? Then, so according to the Arrhenius theory, so what is meant by activation energy? So lower the activation energy, higher is the rate of reaction. Lower the activation energy, higher is the rate of reaction. So lower the activation energy, higher is the rate of reaction. Lower activation energy leads to higher the rate of reaction. So what is meant by an activation energy? So we know that threshold energy is equal to average energy of the reactant molecules plus energy of activation. So this energy of activation, it is the minimum extra energy. It is the minimum extra energy supplied to the inactive reactant molecules to raise their energy, which becomes equal to threshold energy. Then such an amount of energy is called the activation energy. If minimum amount of energy is supplied to the inactive reactant molecules, if their energy, which becomes equal to the threshold energy, then only the reaction starts. Otherwise, no reaction takes place. Is clear? So we know that in case of certain reactants, so if activation energy is low, the reaction which occurs on its own. So generally exothermic reactions, they are spontaneous. Spontaneous reactions means they occurs on its own. But in case of endothermic reactions, so endothermic reactions which occurs only by the absorption of heat energy. Generally, endothermic reactions are non-spontaneous. They requires large amount of energy. So therefore, in such cases, extra energy should be very high. ನೀವು ಕೊಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಇದು ತುಂಬ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. So that is why such reactions are not spontaneous. They are non-spontaneous reactions. So here, energy of activation is the minimum extra energy supplied to the inactive reactant molecules to raise their energy, which becomes equal to threshold energy. Then what is meant by the threshold energy? So if the reactant molecules which attains threshold energy, then they undergoes effective collision to form the activated complex. So it undergoes decomposition by itself because of higher energy that is highly unstable. Hence, finally it gives the product. So that can be observed by the energy, so potential energy level diagram. So look here. So these are the reactants A plus B. So reactants, so which attains threshold energy, and finally it gives the products. So this energy, this corresponding energy is called the EP. EP means energy of products. This is energy of products. This is the energy of reactants. This difference in energy, energy difference between the products and the reactants, it is called the enthalpy of reaction or delta H. Then to the reactants, if they attain threshold energy, so amount of energy is given to it. So this is the energy of activation. This is called the energy of activation. This is the activated complex, that is also called here. It is represented by AB star. It is called the activated complex. Activated complex. Then the reactants to the activated complex are the intermediate transition state. So this height, it is also called, or which becomes equal to the activation energy. So this is also called energy of activation for the forward reaction. Reactants to intermediate state, that is the energy of activation for the backward reaction. Then intermediate state to the products. This height, it is called the energy of activation for the backward reaction. Energy of activation for the backward reaction. So here, enthalpy of reactants, energy of reactants or enthalpy of reactants is greater than the enthalpy of products. So therefore, this is exothermic reaction. So exothermic reaction. So in this case, this is the energy, extra energy supplied to the inactive reactant molecules to raise their energy, which becomes equal to threshold energy. So this is called ET. ET means threshold energy. So look here, ER. So ER plus EA, which becomes equal to ET. Nodal. So average energy of the reactant molecules. So ER, this is the energy of the reactant molecules, ER. This is the extra energy supplied to the reactant molecules, that is EA. ER plus EA. So this height, it represents ER plus EA. So we get ET. So what is meant by activation energy? It is the minimum extra energy supplied to the inactive reactant molecules to raise their energy, which becomes equal to threshold energy. That is called activation energy. Then AB star, this is the activated complex. This is obtained by the effective collisions between the reactant molecules. So their energy, which becomes equal to threshold energy, the energy of the activated complex or energy of the transition state or intermediate compound is equal to the threshold energy, and this activated complex or the intermediate compound, So which is formed by an effective collisions between the reactant molecules. Since it is having a higher energy, its stability is low, that is highly unstable. So it is a state which exists in between the reactants and products. So C and D, these are the products. ಈ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಟು ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಮಧ್ಯ ಎಕ್ಸಿಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಿಷನ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಇದೆ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವೇಟೆಡ್ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲೆಕ್ಸ್. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಲಿವ್ಡ್, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಹೈಲಿ ಅನ್ಸ್ಟೇಬಲ್, ಇಟ್ ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಸ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎ ಲಾಂಗರ್ ಟೈಮ್, ದೇ ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಐಸೋಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಿ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಿಕ್ಸರ್ because it is highly unstable since it is having very high energy. So when compared to reactants and products, their energy is very high. So higher the energy content, lesser will be the stability. Higher the energy content, lesser will be the stability. So therefore it undergoes decomposition of itself to form the products. Is clear? Then, so what is meant by threshold energy? Energy possessed by the reactant molecules. ನೋಡಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ, ಈ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇರೋ ಎನರ್ಜಿಗೆ ನೀವೇನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಿ, ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಸಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಿ, ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಎನರ್ಜಿಯನ್ನು ಸಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಿ. ಅಂದರೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಸಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಈ ಎರಡೂ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಸಿಗ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಥ್ರೆಶೋಲ್ಡ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ. ಇಸ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಸೊ ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಸಪ್ಲೈ ಟು ಇನ್ಆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಲಿಕಲ್ಸ್. ಅದ್ರ ಇದ್ರ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಏನಾಯ್ತು, ಇಟ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಥ್ರೆಶೋಲ್ಡ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ. ಸೊ ಥ್ರೆಶೋಲ್ಡ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ರೀಚ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಟರ್ಮೀಡಿಯೇಟ್ ಕಾಂಪೌಂಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಹೈಲಿ ಅನ್ಸ್ಟೇಬಲ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ obtained by an effective collisions between the reactant molecules. Then immediately it undergoes decomposition by itself because it is highly unstable. It gives the product. That means activated complex is the short-lived intermediate transition state. Intermediate ಇದು ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟೆಂಟು ಅಲ್ಲ, ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟು ಅಲ್ಲ, ಇವೆರಡರ ಮಧ್ಯ ಎಕ್ಸಿಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್, ಇಂಟರ್ಮೀಡಿಯೇಟ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಿಷನ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ಎನ್ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಕೊಲಿಷನ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ದಿ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟೆಂಟ್ಸ್. ಇಸ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಹಾಗಾದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಥ್ರೆಶೋಲ್ಡ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಸ್ಟೇಟಿಗೆ ರೀಚ್ ಆಯಿತು ಅಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಈ ಇಂಟರ್ಮೀಡಿಯೇಟ್ ಕಾಂಪೌಂಡ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಡಿಕಂಪೋಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟನ್ನು ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಆದರೆ ಎನರ್ಜಿ possessed by the reactant molecules for the chemical reaction to take place or to give the product, that is called the threshold energy. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮೂರು ಟರ್ಮ್ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕಗೊಳ್ರಿ, ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಆಫ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವೇಶನ್, ಥ್ರೆಶೋಲ್ಡ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವೇಟೆಡ್ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲೆಕ್ಸ್. ಇಸ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ದೆನ್ ಸೊ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಿಸ್ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ದಟ್, ನೋಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್, so first point is ET is equal to ER plus EA. Is it clear? Nodile threshold energy it is equal to EA plus ER. Then and also energy of activation for the backward reaction, this value. Energy of activation for the backward reaction means intermediate state to product anta. Intermediate state to products, EB is equal to, this is equal to EA plus delta H. This is equal to EA plus delta H. So therefore EA is equal to, energy of activation is equal to, now observe madre, EB energy of activation for the backward reaction minus delta H, minus delta H. Is clear? Nodile observe madle, EA is equal to EB minus delta H. So if this value it is equal to this value EB minus this value delta H. Is clear? So in case of exothermic reaction, EA value is less than EB. So in case of exothermic reaction, EA value is less than EB. So look here, this value EA is less than EB. So in exothermic reaction, EA it is less than EB. So these are all in exothermic reactions. Exothermic reactions. And also you know that delta H is equal to, so energy of activation for the forward reaction minus energy of activation for the backward reaction. Nodi, delta H is equal to energy of activation for the forward reaction minus energy of activation for the backward reaction. Sorry, delta H is equal to, so here it is equal to EB minus EA. EB minus EA. EB minus EA. Delta H is equal to EB minus EA. Here, delta H is equal to EB minus EA, which means EB means energy of activation for the backward reaction. Energy of activation for the backward reaction minus energy of activation for the forward reaction. Is it clear? So, ಇದು ಒಂದು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಜ್ಞಾಪಕಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Then delta H, enthalpy of reaction, EB is EB minus EA. But in case of endothermic reactions, ನೋಡಿ, ಇದು change ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So, these are all very important points for competitive purpose. Is it clear? Done. So, what is the minimum activation energy in case of exothermic reaction? ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದಲ್ಲಿ minimum activation energy for the forward reaction. ನೋಡಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಎಷ್ಟಿರಬೇಕು ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವೇಶನ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ EA is equal to EB minus delta H. EB minus delta H. ಅಥವಾ ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ EB energy of activation for the backward reaction is equal to EA plus delta H. Delta H is the enthalpy of reaction. Enthalpy of reaction. अगर enthalpy of reaction and EA, it is equal to EB. Is clear? Done. In case of endothermic reactions, so these are all the very important points. So for exothermic reaction, that is a potential energy diagram for the progress of reaction in case of exothermic reaction. Similarly, in case of endothermic reactions, so in endothermic reactions, so look here. So this is these are the reactants, A plus B, the activated complex to form the products. So these are C and D, these are the products. This corresponding energy is called EP. So this energy is called it is called ER. Then this difference, energy of reactants and products, this difference is enthalpy of reaction or delta H. Then so reactants to activated complex, so this value it is equal to energy of activation, reactants to activated complex. So this is AB star. This is also energy of activation for the forward reaction, EF. This is ET, this is called threshold energy. So activated complex to products. Activated complex to product, this is called the energy of activation for the backward reaction. Then what is the relationship in EA, EB, delta H? So in endothermic reactions. So this is in endothermic reactions. Endothermic reactions. So ಹೇಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಿ endothermic ಅಂದ್ರೆ energy of products or enthalpy of products is greater than the enthalpy of reactant. So here, so delta H is equal to EB minus EA. So in this case, so enthalpy of products or energy of products, it is less than the energy of reactants, or energy of reactants is greater than the energy of products. So that is why it is an exothermic reaction. In this case, energy of products, so this is the progress of reaction. So here also the progress of reaction. So here energy, so potential energy. In this case, energy of product is greater than the energy of reactant. Energy of reactant. That is why HP minus HR is positive in case of endothermic reaction. Then HP minus HR is negative in case of exothermic reaction. Is clear? Then in case of endothermic reaction, so in endothermic reactions, in endothermic reactions, so we know that so ET, it is always same, ET is equal to ER plus EA. So ಇದು ಕಾಮನ್, ಇದು ಜನರಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಪಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ರಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ. So in this case, this is the threshold energy, this is energy of reactants, and this height of barrier denotes the energy of activation. So ER plus EA, that gives ET. Then delta H is equal to, so in this case energy of activation for the forward reaction. Energy of activation for the forward reaction, it is greater than the energy of activation for the backward reaction. ನೋಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. Energy of activation for the forward reaction is greater than the energy of activation for the backward reaction. But here, energy of activation for the backward reaction is greater than the energy of activation for the forward reaction. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೋಡಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ, in case of endothermic reactions, so they are always accompanied by the absorption of heat. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂಡೋಥರ್ಮಿಕ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಫೇವರಬಲ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಅಟ್ ಹೈ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಡಿಮೆ. ನೋಡಿ, ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಆಫ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವೇಶನ್ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಎಂಡೋಥರ್ಮಿಕ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಎಕ್ಸೋಥರ್ಮಿಕ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಸ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ನೋಡಿ, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ ಅಂದರೆ, ಸೊ ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ ಎಚ್ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಇ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಇ ಬಿ. ಇಲ್ಲೇನಾಗತ್ತೆ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ, ಸೊ ಇ ಎ ಮೈನಸ್ ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ ಎಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಇ ಬಿ, ಆರ್ ಇನ್ ಅದರ್ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ EA is equal to delta H plus EB. So energy of activation EA, this value, it is equal to delta H plus EB. Delta H plus EB. Energy of activation in case of endothermic reactions is always greater than the delta H. No, delta H ಗಿಂತ ನೀವು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಬರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು. ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕೇಸ್ ನೋಡಿ, EA is equal to EB minus delta H. EB minus delta H ಅಂದ್ರೆ energy of activation is less than the delta H value. Here energy of activation is greater than the delta H value. In case of endothermic reaction, energy of activation is greater than the delta H. Note, energy of activation is not equal to delta H. So here energy of activation is greater than delta H. ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ ಎಚ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಟರ್ಮ್ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ನಿಮಗೆ ಇ ಎ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಇ ಎ ಈಸ್ ಗ್ರೇಟರ್ ದ್ಯಾನ್ ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ ಎಚ್ ಅಂತ. ಬಟ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಆಫ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವೇಶನ್ ಈಸ್ ಲೆಸ್ ದ್ಯಾನ್ ದಿ ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ ಎಚ್. ಸೊ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಆಫ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವೇಶನ್ ಈಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಇ ಬಿ ಮೈನಸ್ ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ ಎಚ್. ಇ ಬಿ ಮೈನಸ್ ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ ಎಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ದೆನ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಂಡೋಥರ್ಮಿಕ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್, so energy of activation for the forward, or it is also called the energy of activation, which is greater than the energy of activation for the backward reaction. And in this case, energy of product is greater than the energy of reactants. Energy of product is EP, energy of reactants is ER. EP is greater than ER. Is it clear? So this is about the potential energy diagram for the progress of reaction in case of ಎಂಡೋಥರ್ಮಿಕ್ ಆಸ್ ವೆಲ್ ಆಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸೋಥರ್ಮಿಕ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್, ಇವನ್ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಜ್ಞಾಪಟ್ಟುಕೊಡ್ರಲ್ಲ. ನೋಡಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತಾಗ್ರೆ, ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ ಎಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು, ನೋಡಿ ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ ಎಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು, ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ಲಿ ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ ಎಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಇ ಎ means energy of activation for the forward reaction, EF. This delta H is equal to EF minus EB. Minus EB means energy of activation for the backward reaction. But ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ, energy of activation for the backward reaction minus energy of activation for the forward reaction is equal to delta H. That is in case of endothermic reactions. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಥರ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಸೊ ಇವನ್ನ ಜ್ಞಾಪಟ್ಟುಕೊಡ್ರಿ. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಮೆಂಟ್ ಬೈ ದಿ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಕೋಎಫಿಷಿಯಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್? ಅನದರ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್, ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಕೋಎಫಿಷಿಯಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್. Temperature coefficient of reaction, it is equal to, ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕವಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, this is the ratio of velocity constant at T plus 10 degrees centigrade to the velocity constant at T degrees centigrade. It means that it is defined as the ratio of velocity constant at some temperature to the velocity constant at 10 degree lower temperature. It is defined as the ratio of velocity constant at some temperature to the velocity constant at 10 degree lower temperature. ನೋಡಿಲ್ಲಿ velocity constant is nothing but the rate of reaction. Rate of reaction at T plus 10. Rate of reaction at T degree centigrade. So denominator ಬರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ 10 degree lower temperature. So temperature coefficient of most of the reactions so was found to be 2 or 3 or in other words between 2 and 3. Between 2 and 3. So what is the value of temperature coefficient of reaction? So 2 ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರಬಹುದು. That is right. It may be 2 or 3 or in between 2 and 3. So ಒಂದು 2 ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು 3 ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, in between 2 and 3 ಅಂತ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, all of these ಅಂತಾರೆ. So ಅವಾಗ all of these ನೋಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ನೀವು. So temperature coefficient of most of the reactions was found to be 2 or 3. It means that for every 10 degree rise in temperature, rate becomes doubled or tripled. But for most of the reactions, so look at the graph, so effect of temperature. So here, this is the rate of reaction at T degree centigrade. So this is at T degree or T1 Kelvin. T1 Kelvin. So this is the area of number of activated molecules. This is the area of number of activated molecules at temperature T1. Is clear? So this is the kinetic energy. So this is the most probable kinetic energy ante ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನು. Then when the temperature is raised to 10 Kelvin, so it is raised to 10 Kelvin, then so it is like this. Graph should be like this. This is the area of number of activated molecules at T1 plus 10 Kelvin. T plus 10 Kelvin. So as the temperature increases, temperature versus kinetic energy, as the temperature increases, the graph shifts towards the right side. So for every 10 degree rise in temperature, in the reaction vessel, the volume occupied by the activated molecules doubles when the temperature is raised to 10 Kelvin. It means that for every 10 degree rise in temperature, rate of reaction becomes doubled. So why? Because for every 10 degree rise in temperature, number of activated molecules become doubled, thereby the number of effective collisions per second 2 times increases for every 10 degree rise in temperature, hence rate of reaction also doubles. So for every 10 degree rise in temperature, rate becomes doubled. Why? So for every 10 degree rise in temperature, the number of activated molecules become doubled. Number of effective collisions per second doubles, or the area of activated molecules, the area occupied by the activated molecules, or the volume occupied by the activated molecules becomes 2 times increases when the temperature is raised to 10 Kelvin. So that is why, so for most of, as the temperature increases, we know that in general, so if the reactant molecules possess sufficient kinetic energy, they undergo effective collision that leads to the formation of products. Is it clear? Then the maximum fraction of molecules having the energy, maximum number of fraction of molecules or maximum fraction of molecules having the energy, so which is equal to or greater than the threshold energy, then the reaction starts. They undergo effective collision to give the products. Is it clear? So what is meant by the most probable kinetic energy? Kinetic energy possessed by the reactant molecules. Kinetic energy possessed by maximum fraction of molecules. Kinetic energy possessed by maximum fraction of molecules, that is called the most probable kinetic energy. Is clear? So ನೀವು ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಿ, 10 ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ರೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವೇಟೆಡ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ಸ್ ಡಬಲ್ಡ್. ಇಲ್ಲ, ಸೊ ನೀವು ಗ್ರಾಫಿಕಲ್ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಷನ್ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ನೋಡಿ, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಫ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ರೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, So it is like this. This is the most probable kinetic energy. Most probable kinetic energy. So kinetic energy possessed by maximum fraction of molecules, that is called the most probable kinetic energy. Is clear? Then, so how many times the rate increases when the temperature is riser from 0 to 20, 0 to 30 degrees centigrade or 20 to 60 degrees centigrade. It is like this. So increase in rate of reaction, increase in the rate of reaction, increase in the rate of reaction is equal to temperature coefficient of reaction to the power rise in temperature divided by 10, or it is also equal to temperature coefficient of reaction to the power delta T divided by 10. Delta T means T2 minus T1. Final temperature minus initial temperature, or in other words, temperature coefficient of reaction is equal to T2 minus T1 by 10. Is it clear? So we know that in general at 10 degrees centigrade, if the rate of reaction becomes X, then what is the rate of reaction at 20 degrees centigrade? So rate becomes doubled, means 2x times, 2 times increases. Then if the temperature further rises to 30 degrees centigrade, again rate becomes 4x, 2x or the 4x side. Then again, so at 40 degrees centigrade, rate becomes 8x. So for every 10 degree rise in temperature, rate becomes double. 10 to 20 double आयतो, 20 to 30 again double, 30 to 40 again double. Is clear? Again 50 degree होगा, again double. So here, so what is rise in temperature? 10 degree lower temperature, higher temperature is 40 degree. So 40 minus 10, it becomes 30. So 2 power 3. 2 power 3 means 8. Is it clear? No delay. Temperature coefficient of reaction 2. So what is rise in temperature? Initial temperature is 10. T2 is 10. So final temperature T1 is 10. T1 is 10. T2 is 40. 40 minus 10, 30. 30 by 10 means 3. 2 to the power of 3. It is equal to 8. Is it clear? Done. So effect of temperature, then effect of catalyst on the rate of reaction. So what is the effect of catalyst on the rate of reaction? Effect of catalyst. Effect of catalyst on the rate of reaction. Effect of catalyst. So what is effect of catalyst on the rate of reaction? So look at this diagram. If the reaction is carried out in the absence of a catalyst, so these are the reactants, this is the reaction path in the presence of in the absence of catalyst. So reaction path with no catalyst. Reaction path with no catalyst. This is the product. Then if the same reaction is carried out in the presence of a catalyst, reaction is carried out in the presence of a catalyst. So this is the reaction path with catalyst. If the same reaction is carried out, so this is the progress of reaction, this is energy. So energy, potential energy. So this is the progress of reaction. So this is the reactant. So this height, it denotes energy of activation. So energy of activation with catalyst. This is the energy of activation without catalyst. We know that lower the energy of activation, higher is the rate of reaction. So this is the reaction path. If the reaction is carried out in the presence of a catalyst, or if the same reaction is carried out in the absence of catalyst, extra energy supplied to the reactants, it becomes very high. Means catalyst which alters the rate of reaction by lowering the energy of activation. It means that the catalyst which can form a temporary bonds with the reactant molecules and later they undergoes decomposition to form the products. But if the same reaction is carried out in the absence of catalyst, the minimum extra energy supplied to that reactants, it becomes high. Or in other words, higher the energy of activation, lesser will be the rate of reaction. Lower the energy of activation, higher is the rate of reaction. So time required to cross this energy barrier and time required to cross this energy barrier, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡನ್ನು ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿ. This is the reaction path in the absence of catalyst. ಇದು ಟೈಮ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ತಗೊಳುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ರೆ. ಸೊ ಇದು ಹೈಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಬ್ಯಾರಿಯರ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ, ಈ ಟೈಮ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ದಿ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾರಿಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಇನ್ ದಿ ಪ್ರೆಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಎ ಕ್ಯಾಟಲಿಸ್ಟ್, ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಹೈಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಬ್ಯಾರಿಯರ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದೆ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೈ ಇಟ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಸ್ ಲೆಸ್ ಟೈಮ್. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ದಟ್ catalyst which alters the reaction path involving lower energy of activation. So we know that lower the energy of activation, higher will be the rate of reaction. So that the catalyst which cannot start the reaction, catalyst just it alters the reaction. So catalyst cannot work in case of non-spontaneous reactions. So catalyst which accelerate the reaction in case of spontaneous reactions. So catalyst just it alters the rate of reaction without changing the permanent chemical change. So without permanent chemical change, but it may undergo some physical change. Then catalyst, it decreases the energy of activation by altering the reaction path involving lower energy of activation. Lower the energy of activation, higher is the rate of reaction. So what is the effect of catalyst on the rate of reaction? Daga idana. Catalyst alters. Nodi idu catalyst use madilla ee reaction. Catalyst use madidri idu reaction path. Catalyst alters the reaction path involving lower energy of activation. If energy of activation is low, yavaga catalyst is used in a chemical reaction. If no catalyst is used, the energy of activation is high. So higher the energy of activation, lesser will be the rate of reactions. Is it clear? So this is all about the collision theory of reaction rates. So agar energy of activation calculate ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಿಲ್ಲ. So formula, so log K2 by K1 is equal to EA divided by 2.303 R into T2 minus T1 by T1 into T2. So to evaluate the energy of activation, so we must know two velocity constants at two different temperatures. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಆಫ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವೇಶನ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು? ಎರಡು ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು ಆ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ನಲ್ಲಿ. Evaluation of energy of activation is possible only when by knowing two velocity constant at two different temperatures. Is it clear? So idu one form. Then so by using Arrhenius equation, so Arrhenius equation is K is equal to A into e to the power of minus EA by RT. So log apply ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, so log K is equal to, so log A minus EA by RT. log A plus log e power minus EA by RT ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. log e ಬೇಸಿ 1 ಆಗೋದ್ರಿಂದ minus EA by RT ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ನೋಡಿ. ಸೊ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಸರ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗದೇ ಇದ್ರೆ ಈ ಥರ log K is equal to log A plus log e power minus EA by RT. Is clear? Or this also equal to log A sub minus EA ಬೈ ಆರ್ ಟಿ ಇಂಟು ಲಾಗ್ ಇ. ಲಾಗ್ ಇ ಅಂದರೆ ಸೊ ಲಾಗ್ ಇ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಲಾಗ್ ಇ ಬೇಸ್ ಇ ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು 1. ಜ್ಞಾಪಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲ್ ಲಾಗ್ ಇ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಲಾಗ್ ಟು ದಿ ಬೇಸ್ ಇ ಅಂದರೆ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ 1. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಈ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ 1 ಆದರೆ ಲಾಗ್ ಕೆ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು log a minus a by rt or log k is equal to minus a by r into 1 by t plus log a. So this is of the form. So y is equal to mx plus c. Y is equal to mx plus c. So by plotting, so here 1 by t. So 1 by t value is taking along x-axis and log k values are plotted along y-axis. Slope is negative, so hence straight line with negative slope is obtained. So slope is equal to minus EA by R. Suppose ಇದನ್ನೇ ಲಾಗ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಲಾಗ್ ಕೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ 2.3 ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಮೈನಸ್ ಎ ಬೈ ಆರ್ ಇಂಟು 1 ಬೈ ಟಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ 2.303. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸಲ್ ಮಾಡಿಸಲು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿವೈಡೆಡ್ ಬೈ 2.303, ಅವಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 2.303 ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೈ ಸೊ ಕಾಮನ್ ಲಾಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲ ಆದರೆ ಇದು ಲಾಗ್ ಕೆ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಮೈನಸ್ ಇ ಎ ಡಿವೈಡೆಡ್ ಬೈ 2.303 ಆರ್ ಇಂಟು 1 ಬೈ ಟಿ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಲಾಗ್ ಎ ನೋಡಿಲ್ಲ, ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಸೊ ಈಗ ನೀವು ಇದನ್ನ ಕಾಮನ್ ಲಾಗಿಗೆ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಾದ್ರೆ ಸೊ ಲಾಗ್ ಕೆ ಈಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಮೈನಸ್ ಇ ಎ ಡಿವೈಡೆಡ್ ಬೈ 2.303 ಆರ್ ಇಂಟು 1 ಬೈ ಟಿ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಲಾಗ್ ಎ. ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಇದು ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲ್ ಲಾಗಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾಗ, ಇದು ಕಾಮನ್ ಲಾಗಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾಗ ಸೊ ಅವಾಗ ಸ್ಲೋಪ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಲಾಗ್ ಟು ದಿ ಬೇಸ್ 10 ತಗೊಂಡು 1 ಬೈ ಟಿ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಮೈನಸ್ ಎ ಬೈ 2.303 ಆರ್ ಇದನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ, ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲ್ ಲಾಗ್ ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ ಮೈನಸ್ ಎ ಬೈ ಆರ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇವು ವೆರಿ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ಇಷ್ಟು ಈ ಥಿಯರಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ಸೊ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕಾಂಪಿಟೇಟಿವ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಲ್ಲೇ ಸೊ ಏನು ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಹೇಗೆ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ನೋಡೋಣ.